Hey there, everybody. This is Carrie Hamblin, the CEO and president of the Las Cruces Green Chamber of Commerce, coming to you again in another one of our Zoom chats. It's one of our benefits for our members of the Las Cruces Green Chamber of Commerce to help elevate them and promote all the amazing stuff that they're doing. And today, I'm so excited. Today, it's recording on Friday. It's going to launch on Friday. And we have Fernanda Estrada from WEST and Humberto Guijar from WEST. I miss seeing your faces at the Brannigan Library when we do our first Fridays, and we will get back to that again, but it's so good to see you both.
Oh, it's so good to see you, Carrie.
Carrie.
Oh, I love it. Love that you're doing it. And we've talked a lot about, before we even started recording, just in terms of like COVID and how all of us have had to adapt, and Humberto, on your lovely background, you've got all of the different things of what you do. So tell us about WEST. And yeah, as you point, we all have to kind of figure out like what we're doing. What are the services that WEST offers to folks? Because it originally started out as an organization that helped women business entrepreneurs, but it's kind of expanded.
It has. It has, absolutely. And first of all, thank you so much for having us, Carrie. It's lovely to spend this time with you. We absolutely missed the first Fridays as well. And yeah, but we'll get back to it. But this is fun. It's so good to spend this time with you. Thank you so much. Yeah, as you mentioned, so WEST started as a women. So WEST stands for Women Economic Self-Sufficiency Team, right? It was started by women for women 31 years ago now. We've since diversified and we've become all-inclusive. We serve all residents of the state of New Mexico, and we provide consulting for entrepreneurs, whether you're starting, whether you're expanding, or thinking about moving on from your business. All facets of a business are fair game. We also provide tons of training, and we have a micro lending arm to our services as well.
That's fantastic. And Fernanda, I know that you've been, let's see, it's been over a year, right? Because it's probably is it almost 2 years?
Well, this year in October it will be 2 years. Yes.
Okay, because I remember when you first started was like, when you were showing up at our first Fridays, and
Yeah.
for those of you that don't know, I mean, what we do is we partner with WEST and offer a lot of the trainings and workshops for our community free of charge, to help really improve and help their business thrive. And so many of us have had to adapt because of COVID, because we really want our community to be safe, but we also recognize that our businesses have to kind of be flexible and figure out what they're doing. And so what did you do? And I'm learning, I like to learn what other folks and organizations and businesses have done, because we can all learn from them. And there might be some things that you've done that a business can learn and that they can do. And so when COVID hit, how did you all respond? Because the key is really adaptability.
Right. So I think one of the things that we tried to adapt to was, first of all, the Zoom meetings. That was a little bit of a challenge at the beginning, I think for everyone, but we overcame that challenge very easily. It was just a matter of getting used to the fact that we were going to be doing Zoom meetings for a while, and until people got back on at their offices or out from home. But we're still doing them, and just for the safety of everyone. I know we were doing the first Fridays with you, Carrie, and that was amazing. And we really hope that we can get back to those as soon as we can. But that was one of the challenges, I would say. And one of the perks now is that, we're doing things statewide. And so everyone is able to show up instead of having to travel, to all of these meetings. So, yeah. And I don't know, Roberto, do you want to add anything to that?
Well, I'd just like to add, and really give kudos to Fernanda here, because she was one of the initial people that recognized, hey, we're going to be here for a while, so let's actually create material and workshops to help people know how to navigate Zoom, not just everything else that had to do with our businesses, but Zoom itself, right? How to set up a meeting, how to share screen, how to comment, how to mute, like all those initial steps that that we quickly had to become familiar with as we all entered into this virtual world.
Right.
Just like let's create material, let's create a content, let's create a class for our clients and for people to come in and join and know the elemental aspects of being in this virtual world. And yeah, it just, I mean, for those that didn't have the resources to adapt to Zoom or have the internet connection or whatever, phone calls have been incredibly instrumental as well. So we've resorted to a lot of phone calls, a lot of, being with them and kind of walking them through and holding hands. And I think that's one of the things that we pride ourselves in, is that we don't have to do this, we want to do this. And that really sort of creates the drive in us to whatever it takes to help, to create some positive effect, we'll find a way.
And I think that's fabulous, and it's so thoughtful, Fernanda. You're up as I'm looking, so you're at the top left of my screen, and so, it is so thoughtful. The meme of 2020 is going to be your mic is muted, or hot mic, and so, but it's thoughtful because I mean there are many of us who've had to do this and maybe have done it before, and so it wasn't difficult, but especially for our small businesses and especially for the mom and pop businesses that have been really working hard and that do so much. This is the last thing that they wanted to have to focus attention on, and yet we're kind of really thrust into it that they had no choice.
Yeah, yeah, we're also very thankful of the fact that we've had resources that have been providing the availability to bring that computer access to some of our clients. Because we at West, unfortunately, we don't have a computer lab that we can show, people, and so we're really just glad about all of the resources that have been provided to them and the people who's been able to help them throughout these times. But it hasn't been impossible. Like Humberto said, we've been managing through doing phone calls with them and just kind of guiding them step by step. And the reason why that Zoom training was created was because I myself thought, how difficult is this? Like me myself not understanding what Zoom was about, and everyone was being so new to it, and having clients that have been struggling to get into that, virtual world spectrum. So
Right.
yeah,
Well, and the thing is that we have the good fortune of being part of this collaboration of different business serving organizations who really are looking at all these different components, and just something, because like Fernanda, I know you don't have enough on your plate as it is that we're going to have to look at, when we do have in-person First Fridays, that we're going to have to combine them now. They're going to have to be a hybrid version, because we can't just disconnect those folks from the other part of the state who have been able to use this medium to connect with programs and workshops that are helpful for them. So we're going to have to include now a camera, and all of that. So it'd be really great if you could work on that.
we are
'Cause-
we are talking about it. We're definitely discussing it. We are keeping it in mind.
yeah.
So we are very well aware that people are going to continue attending these meetings, and we're excited for it. I think we're really up for setting it up, and maybe even considering like the recordings of the class for people who can't make it at the time. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think this is just gonna carry on for a while, even after COVID. So it's a
Right.
good thing.
Well, if there's anybody who can do it, I know it's you. So I'm really excited that, yeah, in my case, it's this way.
My case is so Fernanda's, yeah.
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 You got it, Fernanda.
And so, before we get into this program that I'm really excited about, Umberto, we've talked about this as like, and I had this conversation with Joanne Garay the other day, that, what do we look at as like how business is normal? Like, what is going to be our returning to business as normal? She was talking about e-commerce is going to be like really, businesses need to kind of focus on that. Curbside delivery, if you're doing restaurants. I mean, what do you see? What is your take on how we're going to be, what our new normal is going to be, I guess?
I think, the reality is that we don't know. We don't know what that's going to look like. I think I agree that we should be prepared and we should be as knowledgeable on those realms as we can possibly be, right? I think as we sort of get out of our comfort levels, and that's one of the things that this pandemic has really brought upon, is it's the push for everyone to get out of the comfort zone and to venture into the unknown and to see what e-commerce is like, and what about social media? How do I maximize the utilization of social media? What is that? What can that create? Because I think these were all concepts, obscure concepts before. We're like, yeah, e-commerce, but yeah, well, I don't want to do it really. Or yeah, social media, but I don't really see a benefit on that. Um, all of that has pushed us through really getting to know and really taking advantage of all those resources. As we come back to somewhat in person, still virtual, 6 feet apart, and all of that, I think, yes, curbside assistance is going to be incredibly beneficial. E-commerce, I think, is just the way of the future. I think we were just delaying the inevitable at one point, and it's going to be incredibly essential for people to at least know what that option is. If not fully venture into it in the beginning, then know and be prepared and start finding about how to maximize those opportunities. And in fact, we just had a course on digital media and digital presence through GoDaddy. And a lot of it was, hey, what's this e-commerce land that we speak of, and how do we access it? How do we become part of it? And we had a whole discussion on it, and benefits, pros and cons, both pros and cons, because not everything is a pro. And my goodness, do we need to be careful when we go out into the online world. But yeah, so all of those things are going to have to be at least a very important part of our conversation moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. And and I think people are still going to want to go and like have that personal connection. But there are going to be other people who are going to be like, I'm just not going to risk it. And so we do need to. And I think that the common thread is that flexibility will be your survival. If you're not flexible, it's going to be so difficult for you. And so we have to do that. And so one of the things though that we found as a result of the pandemic is that there are a lot more people who are doing business from home. And that's why this program that you just started registration on this week, it's the Essentials for Creative Entrepreneurship. And I'm so stoked about this because I know of people who are baking, people who are really like, well, I thought about doing this. I might as well get on it because I'm kind of stuck at home. And so, Fernanda, tell us about the program. And it starts May 13th, and we'll have all the details and the information either below or above, however you're looking at this. We'll have all the information and the registration. But tell us about it because it's a 6-week course.
Yes, so it's going to be a 6-week training. We're going to be meeting once a week on Thursday starting May 13th, and it's going to end on June 17th. We're going to have these meetings from 10:30 to 12.
And they're all virtual.
Yes, they are all virtual. They're all online. We are doing trainings. All of our trainings are being actually done online at this point. But yes, it's going to be a 6-week workshop. We're going to provide business tools for entrepreneurs that are starting or wanting to expand on their business. And then also we're going to be talking about what the concept is for providing those tools, like for creative artists such as painters, jewelers, woodworkers, poets, welders, and so among many others. And so yeah, we're going to be going over that, also as well as talking about the path to financial sustainability. So I know it's been tough on everyone right now, but like Humberto said, we're trying to take everything online, and I think it's just very beneficial for everyone at this point to be taking this course. And the trainings are currently being offered with no cost because of the pandemic. So we don't really want to put that burden. We're well aware that, you know, everyone's had that burden already. And so, you know, WEST is just providing consultations and the trainings for free at this point.
That's awesome because, you know, it's as I mentioned before we started recording, knowing bakers who are using this to supplement their income, but it's a complicated conversation to have on whether or not you can bake from home and then sell. And so there are ways, and so but you know, I mean, I'm imagining Etsy's probably going to be a part of this conversation in terms of like, or at least an opportunity to how to set up an Etsy shop or do e-commerce and all of that. So I'm really excited that it's like, because it's really not something that can be discussed in one shot. There are so many different elements to it that you really have to have it as a multi-part program.
Yes, so every class is going to be a bit different. We're actually going to have, if I'm not mistaken, 4, maybe 5 different hosts, and they're going to alternate because the topics vary. So we're going to have someone, I think 2 people from Albuquerque team. We're going to have someone from the Farmington team, and keep in mind that this is going to be a statewide training. So it's not only for the Las Cruces region, it's for every New Mexico region. So
I can't wait to see. I hope there's like a show and tell or a virtual gallery, just as an idea, afterward of highlighting all the participants and their wares that you can do like on your social media. Like, you know, here are the cookies that so and so makes. Here's the jewelry that so and so makes. Want to learn more? Because sorry, I'm just like plugging those
That's a
ideas.
wonderful idea.
no,
That's a
Take
wonderful
it,
idea.
take
that's
it.
all what it's going to be about. We really just want people to, at this point, at any workshop that we're having, not just this one, you know, we're encouraging people to exchange resources because I know that's been really handy for everyone to
Yeah.
have. So even if it's not in the same region, you know, you can still order things, and a lot of businesses are working online right now too. So
Yeah.
you can order.
Well, what I'm suggesting is maybe that you all create like a photo album of like all their different wares and say, this was our cohort for this particular training, and look at all the amazing stuff they've done.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant idea, Carrie. That's a brilliant idea. And if you don't mind, we'll borrow it.
Take it, take it. No, that's what I love to do. I love these collaborations because what you're doing is such good work, and then like let's amplify them and
That's amazing. That's an
just
amazing. Well,
celebrate
thank
them.
you so much.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so excited about this workshop. And so, does registration have a close date? Do people need to register by a certain time?
Yes. So registration, I believe, is going to be closing up on May 11th.
Okay.
Yeah, just
And
so
then,
that we can,
Yeah.
if you haven't submitted an intake form with us, you're going to be asked to do that before you register for the class. So that way we can count the participation of everyone that joins the meeting.
right. And that intake form is confidential. It's something that WEST is required to do because you do receive funding from the Small Business Administration. And that's just for documentation in terms of like how many people you serve. So, don't want that intake form idea to be
Right.
a scary concept for you. It's just really for data.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no,
really
and
it's really confidential, and none of the data is
Shared.
really released to anybody else, shared with anybody. It's all numbers. We lump them into a number, and that's all it is.
Go ahead, Fernanda.
Oh, I was just going to add, it's very easy to fill out. There's no need to print or scan the intake form at this point. Our marketing team has done an amazing job at that. They created this wonderful system where now people can fill out the intake form online. So they can do that, and it just submits directly to us.
Awesome. Isn't it funny? Because you're like, wow, that would have been really helpful like 4 years ago. But glad we have a pandemic now to do that. You know, we are learning. And I'm so excited that you're providing this opportunity for businesses to not only connect with each other, but really learn like how they can navigate their home produced business throughout the state. So the workshop is called Essentials for Creative Entrepreneurship. It is a workshop that is a statewide workshop on behalf of WEST. And you will see the registration link either down below or up above. And of course, you'll also have the information to contact Humberto or Fernanda at WEST in Las Cruces. But you can always find WEST. If you just Google WEST New Mexico, you will find the statewide office, and then you can also find the different locations in your community. So Fernanda and Humberto, it is so lovely to see your faces. And Fernanda, I haven't seen your face in forever and a day, so it's lovely to see you. And I'm so glad to do this, and anything that we can do to help with these different opportunities and how we move forward. I think, you know, we've got the creative juices flowing, so it's going to be really exciting to see what happens.
Yes.
Yes. Well, thank you both.
No,
Absolutely.
thank you so much. It's lovely to see you, and also thank you for everything you're doing, because everybody knows that you're doing a ton. Thank you so much. It is so wonderful to partner with you, and you've been an incredible support for us and for what we do, and we'd like to reciprocate that. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for everything you're doing with the Green Chamber and elsewhere. And if you all need anything at all, please let us know.
I have never had a doubt about that. I know that we have each other's backs, and it's really lovely that we've got such a strong community of organizations that recognize what our individual roles are and how we collectively work together. So, and WEST has always been a part of that. So it's so lovely. And you know, the thing is that if you're watching this, it's just obviously we have a great deal of affection for each other, and we could probably go on and on, but we won't do that to you. All the information's below. You'll want to get a part of the Essentials for Creative Entrepreneurship workshop. You'll see the contact information in the link. And as always, on behalf of the Las Cruces Green Chamber of Commerce, we thank you for thinking local first and supporting our local businesses and trying to keep money in our community. So until our next Zoom chat, thank you so much, and we will see you soon. Bye, you both.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything.